Kobe comes walking in with just a towel on. He walks in, he's like, "Y'all motherfuckers still suck," and just walks and just keeps walking.
Straight up out the gate, I'm talking press game time. Hey, look, I'm here.
Our guest on In Shambles today, 10-year NBA veteran. His number 24 is retired at Old Dominion. Please welcome to the show, Kent Bazemore. Kent, how are we?
I'm amazing, man. It's been a great year away from the game, man. It's been awesome. I feel great, rejuvenated, ready to go.
Man, I'm excited to have you back on. The last time you were on an NBA court was the 2022 season with the Lakers, and then you signed with the Kings briefly. Are you ready to go for next year if a team's ready to sign you?
100%. My time away from the game wasn't 100% about the game of basketball. I still feel that I'm one of the best basketball players, on the planet right now. Just looking at my story, I've had a lot of time to just, go back down memory lane and kind of reconnect with from whence I came. And I'm excited just the knowledge, how I've taken care of my body, the guys that I played with, what I've learned from them. I'm just ready to, put it all together. I really feel like now is where I enter my prime.
Love it, man. I love it. What do you think has changed in this past year going forward in your mentality?
Well, just the confidence that I have in myself. The game kind of changed right underneath me. And, I was kind of out of it for most of it. Being undrafted, I went to college for 5 seasons, a red shirt at Old Dominion. I broke my foot going into my senior year. Undrafted, I made the summer league team, made the training camp team.
Summer league champ.
Yes, sir.
Summer league
made
champ.
the summer league team back in 2012, and everything after that was a blur. You play, you sign a big deal, you bounce around a little bit, you have children, a lot was going on, so I was just kind of distracted a bit. But I made some space to reconnect with the game and put in the time needed to be the best player I can be.
You mentioned it a little bit earlier, but you played alongside some generational talents like LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant. How different was it playing with each of these guys?
I being away from the game and just kind of seeing it as a spectator. Obviously I'm a student of the game, but even before that, I played with Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, a lot of guys. Even before that, way back, Carl Landry, Elton Brand, Kyle Korver, Paul Millsap, Al Horford. Just the amount of character that these guys have. I learned so much about the game, about life, about approach, just from them. And it's really hard to explain it, because I'm from a small town in Kelford, North Carolina, and I'm a very very humble person. I have an enormous amount of gratitude. So for me, it's just dream come true. You out on the floor, you running the floor with Russell Westbrook on one side, LeBron on the other, Anthony Davis on the rim. You got Wayne Ellington playing shooting games with Wayne Ellington. Or you setting a jam screen for Stephen Curry, you getting a bounce pass for a dunk for Draymond Green. What's better, right?
I'm sure coming from a small town too, and then making it to that level at the capacity that you did is just insane to just think about.
Unreal,
yeah. You and Steph have a special relationship, and that's been very apparent throughout both your times in the league. There's a story that when Steph had his shoe contract expiring, Under Armour signed you, and they sent you an egregious amount of gear to give to your teammates, help Lou or Steph. And they credit you for a major reason that he signed with Under Armour and now Curry brands. Is that story 100% true? Is there anything I'm missing from it?
Well, all right. So it started. My agent at the time. So I was wearing Nikes in the beginning. I wore Kobe's throughout all of college. Until my senior year, and I broke my foot. I played in the Zoom Soldier 3 by LeBron. Just a wider platform shoe that would help with
clunky shoe.
Yeah, exactly. Would help with my recovery. But right after that, I was right back in the Kobe's, and you first come into the league, you're trying to find something. I was an undrafted guy, non-guaranteed deal, and Chris Stone, still a good friend of mine, to this day sends 19 boxes to my little 2 bedroom apartment. I have an air mattress. I have a laptop with a 25-foot Ethernet cord. I don't know, I was so wrong. And then 19 boxes of gear. So for about 2 months, dude, it was just opening boxes, ripping plastic. I didn't wash clothes for like 2 months. Like so much gear. And I think I honestly think, knowing Steph now, I think what gravitated him towards Under Armour was the fact that, they took a guy like me and showered me. It didn't matter, what my status was. They just took care of me. I think honestly, I think that's what kind of helped him gravitate towards, coming over. Obviously, Nike did what they had their whole thing with the PowerPoint and all of that. But Steph's one of the most grounded, people you'll meet, and I think that's what kind of that humility UA showed by taking a chance on an undrafted guy. I'm coming in, new bucket hats, new graphic tees, new shoes. The shoes weren't as great as they are now, but it was a start. It's a story I don't really get to tell often, but I really do enjoy that part of my journey.
Man, it's an incredible story and not often talked about, like you said, but it's a really big part of your journey and Steph's journey as well, which is awesome. Love it. What was the moment you realized Steph was like special?
Man, I went to a mid-major school, and obviously he did too. So even when they made that run in the NCAA tournament, it was impressive. He's knocking out all the big name teams. Like, and as a mid-major, we didn't care what was on the front of your jersey. We didn't care what was on the back of your jersey either. Like, we just always have a chip. Look at Damian Lillard. Like, those mid-major guys, we just cut different. His fearlessness is kind of what um, I think set him apart. Even shooting the 40 footers in games like down the stretch, or the crazy finals against Cleveland when he was dribble dribble dribble, or Kevin Love and just turn around and flings it. Like, that's just it's special. Like, you don't really see it, especially with everything with all the stress that people and coaches and players put on every single shot. To have that ability to shoot, unconsciously for years and years and years. It's not like he had like 400 threes in one season. Like, that's just, it's insane. So I think it's the fearlessness that kind of just sets him apart. Like, he doesn't blink an eye. It's not a shot that he doesn't think he can't make.
I read something about him being able to slow down his heart rate. I don't know the truth about that, but that's just an insane story. It's like during clutch free throws, he like slows down his heart rate. I'm like, I don't even know how that's humanly possible, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Dude's in shape, man. He's one of the best conditioned athletes, I think, in all the
He
sports.
just runs.
Like, yeah, exactly. He's a gravitational force on the floor, like on the ball or off the ball. He gets off the ball, and you have to watch where he is. But what makes it tough as a defender, if you're guarding somebody else and not guarding him, like, you got to kind of keep an eye on where he is, and it just opened up lanes for a lot of other guys. I think,
Yeah.
Playing for Golden State, once you understand, how to use him, that's when everything kind of opens up for you. I was there for a year, the COVID year, where he won the scoring title, and it was just, trying to find little ways, set a screen, slip out, or set a back screen for him. Or, hey, do something, just find a way. That's our best chance to win, right? So try to get that man the ball.
I recently got put on the Edge Boost, and it's completely transforming my betting game. Let me tell you, this is the world's first bet now, pay later program that, unlike credit cards, has zero interest. How does it work? Let's say you're feeling great about this weekend's game, but you wish you had an extra $100 to bet. Simply set up your Edge account now. Whenever you want to double down on a bet, deposit into the virtual card, and Edge will match your deposit. Simple. Head over to the link in the description, double down, and double your winnings with Edge Boost. You've always been a huge glue guy for each team you've been on. How important is it? Let me rephrase this. How important is it for a team to have a strong culture?
In a league where every player is just as talented as the next guy, I think it's everything. I think Phil Jackson is the man that kind of started that. Obviously that's kind of when I started watching the game, was kind of at the end of those Michael Jordan years, and obviously all of Kobe. But just his how he described his team as like being a tribe, and how he kept them connected spiritually, how he they would do things like together. Like I think that's so important because if a team is like this, it's hard to let all the outside noise come in, and that's where I think me coming back this season, you know, that's going to be my focus as a team. Like I feel like I'm the ultimate grounder, that glue guy. Like I'm going to hold it together. Like we're not going to worry about all the outside noise. That's what they want. I mean, they want to create narratives and things, but we got to stay together. And it's funny. I played in the Folsom Lifetime Fitness League right across the street.
I've been seeing that on your Instagram.
Yeah, we won a championship last night, and
come on, bring the ring.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Hey, man, look, I took a year off and still got a championship. But it got tough for us down the stretch, and there were like 2 or 3 huddles where we just bought it in like during dead balls, and together on 3, once like together, and those little things go such a long way. Because what happens when teams make runs is that you just do this a little bit. You just come apart a little bit. But that little huddle brings you closer and closer, closer and closer. And we withstood it. And when the buzzer went off, we were just so elated because, we held it. Just like championship teams do. Like, you got to hold it together. It's not going to be perfect. But can you stay together? Can you, leave your stuff outside? Like, when you walk into your job, when you walk into the gym, the arena for practice or a game, however you feel about yourself personally stays. You looking at your next guy. Like we're gonna win. Everybody wins. When you win, everybody eats. That's just as simple as that.
I still can't get past that they let you play in a Lifetime Fitness league. I feel like that's not fair.
But no, it was what's funny. What's funny. It was a little bit of ruckus in the beginning, but then I signed up. I played my dues, and I was there. And it's not like I was dominating every game. I'm just not that kind of player anyway. I have 2 other players on my team that could absolutely go. And, I was just out there more so I was working on other things like my leadership skills and passing and keeping guys together and, elevate guys.
The intangibles.
Yeah, it's a different game for me now, man. I mean, I played 10 years in NBA, and I had to learn. I had to walk through all those steps. I had to walk every step not being able to sleep come Christmas because your guaranteed contract date is January 10th. Non-guaranteed deals. Like I went through all of that. I went through until Fred VanVleet, I was the highest paid undrafted player in NBA history, right? Like I've seen the valleys, I've seen the peaks. So for me now, it's a totally different game. Like Kobe talked about the emotion of the game, like the emotion of the other opponent. You know what I mean? Like it's so many like intricacies of the game that's been outcasted now because of all the other distractions. Like people just care about what's on the stat sheet. They looking at a piece of paper versus like the spiritual warfare that goes on. That's why Bird and Magic seem so big because they're playing a totally different game. Or Jordan walking into the locker room of another team saying, "Who guard me tonight?" You about to get, like, you know what I mean? Like that's a different that's a different game for them guys. So that's kind of what I've tapped into, and I'm just looking forward to being back on that stage and like letting it all show.
Talking about Kobe, you played with him for a little bit when you were with the Lakers. Everybody seems to have a Kobe story. Do you have one?
I do, actually.
Come on, tell me. Let's hear it.
So it's funny. I'm obviously with Golden State. I was with Golden State my rookie season. This is my second year. They're trying to make another deep playoff push, and they trade myself and Marshawn Brooks for Steve Blake. So it was like a Thursday. I got traded. We were actually in Sacramento. I was with Golden State. We finished Chapel, and I come out. Here's Mark Jackson and Bob Myers, and they pulled me to the side. I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. What's going on? Hey man, we're gonna trade you to LA. Kobe had fractured his kneecap that year, so you're gonna get a ton of playing time. You get a ton of minutes. This is your chance to kind of further your career, and So I wake up Friday morning, I fly down, I do my physical. We got Boston. It's Lakers Celtics on ESPN Friday night. I mean, we probably won 30 games combined at that point. It was like 25 games left in the season. And we win. Everybody's excited as hell in the locker room. It's my first game in the locker room. Everybody in there. And I got my head down, I'm doing something. All of a sudden it gets quiet. Kobe comes walking in with just a towel on. He walks in, he's like, y'all motherfuckers still suck. And just walks and just keeps walking. And that's my first encounter with him. I'm like, oh, like, geez. But like that's who we like. I feel like I didn't get to run it back with him that next season, but like I feel like that's the kind of like sharpening that he would have gave you. Like no matter what you do, it ain't gonna be. He would just keep pushing you in that way. Like, are you gonna retaliate? Like it's a clip of him and Sasa Vujic. Like he elbowing Sasa Vujic and like kind of winking. Like that's the type of like leadership and sharpening that I would love. Like I love that. I ain't gonna back down from that. Like I love that, but I mean, I miss him dearly. Like I've been studying him a ton, just over this little 9, 10 month hiatus I've had. Just getting diving deep into his brain. He gave me one book recommendation when I was playing with them, "The Zen and the Art of Archery." And that book to this day is still a gift that keeps on giving. Because once he gave me that book recommendation, it kind of told me all I need to know just about his train of thought and his approach. Um, so I mean, that's probably one guy like if he were around today that I would be on the phone with constantly, just like picking his brain. Because I feel my relationship with him, I was 3,000 miles away. When I was watching him, but I just felt I could feel his passion. Like I could feel his energy and his like determination, and that's what kind of helped me with my identity.
Damn, y'all motherfuckers still suck.
Yeah,
That's like textbook Kobe
it
story. I
is.
love
I'm
it.
telling you, bro, it was spot on, man. Spot on.
Some of your best basketball days were with the Hawks. You guys met LeBron in the playoffs in 2015 conference finals, in the semifinals in 2016. His record against you guys was 8-0. How tough was it to play against LeBron in the playoffs?
Shit, 6'9", 260. And I was guarding him. I'm 6'5", 190, soaking wet. I mean, just a force. Like he put his head down. Even the finals that he had in 16, I think he was like 45, 12, and like 10. Like, I mean, bro, like that's OD. That's OD. I don't know what you expect to do with that. I mean, and we won 60 games the first year of 2015, and we beat them, I think, 2 or 3 times that season. But the playoffs is different. I remember one game we went to Cleveland, they made 27 threes. And it's just like it's raining in there. And they got a clip of me sitting on a bench. Like I had a towel around my neck and I just had my head down, like just like meditating. It was so loud. I was just soaking that up. But I still felt like we were the better team. I still felt like we were the better team. We were like first or second in the league in assists, and they were just. I mean, J.R. Smith was going bananas.
His contested threes.
Yeah, I mean, I was like he's shooting. I had matched up with him for a little bit, and he's just shooting right on top of my forehead. His follow through hit me right in the forehead. Bing. I mean, and that's I think and that was a veteran team. Like, I mean, Kevin Love. Like, I mean, they had so many weapons. Like, how you want it? But amazing times, like amazing experience, and that's the kind of stage that I love. Like, I feel like the regular season now is just, I don't know. It don't. I mean, it's. I don't know. It doesn't hold the same weight. Like, and then when the playoffs come, everybody like, oh, I love the playoffs, just because like the game slows down and every possession matters. You got guys in the regular season come across half court, 18 on the shot clock, shooting 30-footers. Like, that's gonna cost you in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like you gotta slow down and like really understand that each possession matters, offensively and defensively. That's winning this possession. Offensively, winning the possession doesn't mean you make every shot. It's like, are we getting good shots? Are we controlling the tempo? That's the game. It's a different game for me now, man. I'm getting fired up, bro.
That brings me to my next question. So Damian Lillard went on JJ Redick's podcast this year, and he said, "I don't enjoy what the NBA is becoming as a whole." And you replied with a tweet saying, said that. What is it specifically about today's NBA that just makes you miss how it used to be?
I feel like there's a lot of individuality now in a team sport. Like, each guy has their own brand, and then it's cool. It's not a knock on that. I mean, I got my own logo too. Like, it's cool. It's fun, especially for the people that follow you from back in the day. Like, it's good for them to kind of represent you. But I think it's gone just a little bit too far. Like, guys, there are some guys in the league that forget how to impact the game or what impact actually means. Like, it's not getting your numbers every night. It's keeping other teams off balance. Like, you look at Kobe. I mean, I gotta say, I watch a ton of Kobe. I watch a ton of Mike. Like, they come out, they feel it out. They may not be feeling their best. They need something to get them going, but they get their other teammates involved. It's about winning games. It's not about accolades. It's not about individual accolades. You win games, all that stuff comes. All that stuff comes. I promise you. But I mean, then outside of that, it's just there are a lot of vets. When I came my rookie year, Golden State, we had Jared Jack, Richard Jefferson, Carl Landry, Andres Beeders, Andrew Bogut, David Lee. And then after that, it was Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, Steph, Clay, myself. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of vets, and that just kind of keeps everything in perspective. Because even off the floor, they teach us how to move. They take care of us when we out in other cities, so we ain't making careless mistakes. You know what I mean? It was just such an edge that came with, hey, Rook, you better be in practice early tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that stuff. Now everybody gets to come in at the same time. Like, everything. There's
19,
no.
17.
Yeah. It's like it's not like, I don't know. But I mean, it's good that guys are actually talking about it now. Like,
right.
The middle child, like Dane, we came in the same league, same year. We're actually classmates with the transition program,
Nice.
and like we're the middle children. We got the young guys behind us, and then we had the older vets. Like, he had Marcus Aldridge, Nicola Batum. Like, he had all those guys up there in Portland. So we just trying to get some of that that groundedness back in the game.
Yeah.
Really take our game back.
And you think about it, like the Magic, their average age is like 22, 23 or something. These are kids. They just legally started to be able to drink. Like,
yeah,
you guys are leading the locker room.
And you got these young kids that have the keys to a franchise. Like, they don't understand what it means to be the face of a franchise. I mean, I'm blessed enough to have a friend that's doing it. Really good friend that's doing it, and like being able to pick his brain on, you're not only representing yourself, you're representing an entire organization. How you get back to the community, all these things reflected, not only who you are, but who you represent. Like, I really feel like that's not even a thing anymore. It's just like, oh, he has this kind of potential. Let's go ahead and throw him in the fire. Or, Steph had Jared Jack. Jared Jack was instrumental in Steph's growth when I was there, just helping him stay under control. And I think giving these young guys a player like that, somebody that can still play, but still mentor them, I think would just help the longevity of these franchises. Because you take a top pick, you lose 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row, just to get the number one pick. But he doesn't pan out, and you can be in a hole for 10 years. That's how big these drafts are. I mean, let's look at Golden State. They drafted well, and they've been doing well, but they kept that locker room. I mean, this past season was a little longer, but they kept that locker room somewhat veteran based to keep everything moving in the right direction.
Still got that culture.
Yes, sir.
Culture.
Yes, sir. Just us. They were saying that back in 2012, man.
I want to talk about Damian Lillard. You guys played the Blazers together, and you were in the rookie transition program. Classmates. Shout out to that. Do you think the Blazers are kind of failing him? Because I feel like he's given everything to that organization. They're just not giving him the help.
Well, I mean, it just depends on which way you look at it. Like, you know, some people's some people's timing is just different. I really feel like, I really feel like Dame is like really stepping into who he is. Like, I really think, being a father, I really think he prioritizes that. And if any, I look at the world of behavior. Like, any man that has his family first, like that's in it like that and showing up like that, has his priorities in check, and everything else will start to happen. His success, he's had success in his own right, but his team success is right around the corner too. Like, it this is gonna be his 12th season coming up. Like, guys don't start winning until they're like 30 years old in the league. Like, it just takes time to understand that. And Portland has been a franchise for a while that's just, you know, been showing up. They have a rabid fan base. I love the little short stint I had there. I wish it was a little longer. They hit the panic button a little too soon on me, I think. But anyway, uh, it's a process to winning, man. Like, you got to go through these years where you get close, and then you bring in a guy like Shaden Sharp. You got Anthony Simons. Like, they have. I see they're making some moves now. I'm really watching the trade stuff, all that stuff. But his time's coming. I think he can feel that too, which is why he's putting in even more work.
I feel like Dame gets so much shit for no reason, just because he's loyal, and people
Yeah,
want to give him so much shit for that, because they're like, why do you want to stay on that team when that team has given him everything and he's given everything to that team? So I think a lot of the stuff that he gets is unfair from the media. I don't know.
Because like he gonna stay the course. Like,
Yeah.
that's a man that's gonna stay the course. Like, he not
And we
gonna
get mad when like KD and some of these other guys are
want to
jumping
bounce
ship.
around. Yeah,
But
nah.
when
He
someone
gonna stay
wants to
put.
stay, we're like, what the hell?
Yep, he's real like that. Definitely a great experience for me. Him and CJ McCollum. That was just because I wanted to play with them for a very long time. Like, I saw us three, like, mid-major guys. Us being in the backcourt together. But it was such a blessing just to share those couple months with them. Uh, you know, Still good friends to this day.
You're gonna feel sick when I tell you this, but in 2022, you left the Warriors for the Lakers to have a larger role and an opportunity to win an NBA title. I'm sorry I'm doing this to you. Uh, by game 15, you were out of the rotation, and the Lakers didn't make the playoffs, and the Warriors won the title that year. You tweeted, "Congrats to my homies, but I'm sick." Tell me about that feeling, man. I'm sorry for having to do this to you.
No, this
Sorry.
is good. I'm just trying to see how much of this I really want to,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I would say this, and this is speaking totally in hindsight. Like, it sucked ass going through that shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'll never do it again. But I will say, I would not be where I am today with the mindset that I have had it not been going through that. Like, I had to go through that. I had to, like, really learn who I am again. Like I said, like, 5 years of college, undrafted. That was my 10th season, and it was a lot. It was a lot. Like, I felt like I let Kobe down. Like, it was a lot. And for me, going there wasn't about any player that was on that team. It was Kobe Bryant was my favorite player, and the Los Angeles Lakers called me and said, "Hey, we got an open spot at the two for on the championship caliber team." Like, tell me, find somebody that's gonna turn that down, right? Like, in the lineup, Russ, Brown, AD, like, what, what? You tell me somebody that's gonna turn that down. We like and it was a good year. Like, it was a really good year because I've been competing against those guys my entire career. And just to get to share the court with them. Obviously, things didn't work out, and they don't always work out. But I learned a lot, and I think the thing I took away from that season is that I stuck to my routine. So I still have my dignity of who I am as a worker, as a basketball player. Like, I learned, I've grown so much from that situation. So I mean, and the quote that was out, the larger role stuff, like that didn't come out of my mouth. That wasn't the reason why I made that decision in the first place. So that's that. But I mean, it was, I'm the type of person that I can, I take joy from other people's success, other people that I'm close to, and those guys I've been close to. So when they won, I mean, I feel good too. I watched it. I watched the confetti fall on my guys. Like I was sick though. Like I was just there. I was just there, and things didn't work out. Some changes were made in my life um, through that. So, like I said, if I didn't go through that, then I wouldn't be here today, like feeling the way that I feel.
Yeah, and it all works out in the end. You got the
Yeah,
lifetime ring. Is everything's good?
yeah,
You know?
exactly, hey, bro.
Yeah, we still got the hardware.
I'm still a champion, baby.
Still got the
Still
hardware.
a champion. Let's go.
Funny story. So I'm gonna say it a little later, but obviously I've been a huge fan of yours for a while. And the 2015 season with the Hawks, you guys were the first seed, killing it. You had 4 All Stars,
Yeah.
and I wanted to get your jersey, but I didn't have that much money, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go look in China. So I'm on DHgate trying to get like a Chinese Kent Bazemore jersey. And they didn't have you, but they had a Kyle Korver, so I'm like, fuck it, all right, Kyle
Yeah.
Korver. And I finally got rid of that jersey this past year. I sold it to like Buffalo Exchange, and they gave me like $15 for it. I was like, all right, sure.
Oh, all right.
So it's all right,
Yeah.
That's how life
So,
works. How life works.
it's all good.
I gotta hear a little bit about your golf game, man, because it looks like you have a great time. You're good. You're
Yes,
a good
sir.
player. You're a good player. I see your stories, and I go to like a used golf store, get some like $8 irons. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go be Kent, and then I shoot like 140, and I don't know.
Hey, I mean, the game of golf, man, it's a game of like organization, and
Yeah.
it's gonna give you a great synopsis of where you are in life, like how you react to your shots, how well can you stay focused throughout a round, like understand the process of getting better. Like the first time I played was at TPC Harn Park down the street. My mentor Corey takes me out. I shoot 140, 147.
That's
I'm
my
like,
type. That's my type of score.
I gotta
I'm putting
be
up
good
wilt
at that.
numbers, bro. I put up wilt numbers when I go.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I got to be good at this, and then it's just a part. It's a great balance to the game of basketball for me. Because on the floor, obviously, I'm high energy, super passionate, which and golf has helped me hone that. You see the guys on tour make a birdie putt, 25-foot birdie putt. They just kind of tip the cap. You got to keep it. You got to keep it. Mellow. Try to keep that heart rate around 120, 122 just to stay solid. You know what I mean? And it's just helped me on the floor. It's helped me, not overreact to the foul calls or even, correcting my teammates. Hey man, don't worry about it. Keep playing. Let's stay together. Keep going. And golf is just that. You hit a great tee shot, you hit a second shot, you miss your birdie putt, you tap in par, you keep it moving. You make a bogey. I've started my last round, 2 rounds ago, I shot 79. I went 43 on the front. 43 on the front. I started bogey, double bogey. Spring. I had one birdie on the front, and in the back 9, just for me keeping it together, I'm 3 under through 5, playing out of my mind. And then I go double bogey, par, bogey to finish the round. So it's for me. I see room for improvement. I'm like, all right, I'm getting closer. I understand the process. Like it'd have been nice to shoot a 29 on that side. Like, oh, go, keep going, birdie, birdie, birdie. But like, is that the reality? Don't set yourself up for failure. Manage your expectations, and in the game, it'll grow right underneath you.
I got one career birdie. So.
There you go.
Kind of
I'll
like
get a
Tiger
hole in
Woods
one.
in the making. Tiger Woods.
You'll probably get a hole in one before me.
I don't know, man. We gotta play together at some point. At some point in this lifetime, it's gonna happen. I'm taking you any course you want. Any course
Let's
you
go.
want. You name it.
All right.
My last question for you: top 5 shooters of all time, because you've played with some really great shooters.
Dang. Top 5 shooters. I'm gonna preface this by saying these top 5 shooters are the guys that I play with that were my teammates of mine.
Top 5 shooters that Kent Bazemore has played with.
There we go. I'm gonna go with Steph, Clay, Cal Korver, Wayne Ellington, and Marco Bellinelli.
No Dame?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, you asked for 5, like
Yeah, this is your 5. I'm just
it's tough. I mean, definitely,
yeah.
Dame.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
he's sick. He's up there.
yeah. I mean, he's definitely. I just wanted to throw somebody in there that people wouldn't expect.
I like that. Bellinelli does not get the respect he deserves,
No,
man. He was cold.
Bellinelli can shoot, bro. He can let it go.
Yeah. You remember that highlight? He threw it off someone's back and then shot the 3. It didn't count, but it was sick.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta have fun because this is the best league in the world, bro. Like the best league. Like, I mean, I'm sure I miss way more people than that. You know what I mean? Like, I've had so many teammates. I've had so many teammates, dude. I've been on so many teams in my life. That's just outside of NBA. You know, I got 2 long tenures on 2 teams. That's my college team for 5 years, and that's the Atlanta Hawks for 5 seasons. Everything else has been bing, guys in and out. Like it's crazy. But yeah, man, that's the top 5.
Last thing I really want to say is, if you ask kids these days who their favorite player growing up was, they're going to tell you Kobe, Michael Jordan, LeBron. You're fully not going to believe me, but I genuinely say you. Because I really started to get into the NBA around 2014. That's when your tenure with the Warriors is going to the Hawks. And that's when I really started to get into it. I bought 2K that year, and my friend and I would always do Hawks Cavs. And you had the nicest dunk package, bro. And so I would just start you. I'd put Damari Carroll on the bench, no offense. And I would just yam with you the entire time. I dropped like 54 with you. It was like triple overtime. I lost in Hawks Cavs fashion, of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But dog, and so I started to watch more Hawks games, and then the post game interviews. You were doing the Bays gaze behind Dennis and Al Horford. Your energy and character made me love the game. So I genuinely thank you for that.
That's the best compliments for me, bro. Like that's what it's about, dude. Like just growing the game through the character, man. Like we are humans. We are human beings. Like we wake up, we have issues, we have all these things just like everyone else. But we made the game of basketball our safe space. We've gotten to the point, I struggle with this the past 3 years, but then you get to the point to where once you step inside those lines, nothing else matters. If it's not serving you, it doesn't matter. It's not with you. So I appreciate that, man. I mean, that warms my heart to hear because that's why I love bringing to the game. I love bringing that energy and passion and joy. That's what it's about. That's what it's about, bro.
That's what I try. I try to have fun with it. Watched you have fun with it your whole career, man. That's what I want to do. And
yes, sir.
People are gonna think I'm bullshitting, but I'm not. You can ask anyone that I grew up with. The Bays got one Bays gate is to send us off. Come on, just one.
Yes, sir.
Just one. Kent, thank you so much for coming on In Shambles. It was a pleasure having you on and, start picking your brain, hearing some stories. Anything you want to plug before we send this off?
No, man, stay tuned. I'm coming back. And
thank you guys for watching In Shambles. Kent Bazemore, always a pleasure, and we'll see you for the next episode.
Y'all look nervous, breathing all heavy. Look, we gon' keep it going till it's raining confetti. I'm in the camera smiling, cheese, don't it look like some confetti? I got it. We ready.